Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Between the Seams with Marty and Mack, brought to you by the Triple Play Fantasy Network. This is this is week 9, episode 8, and we're recording on a beautiful Friday evening. Sorry we missed last week. That was my fault. I was moving into a new place. You know, if anyone has ever done that, it becomes, messy real quick. So we're ready to hop into week 9. But before we do, Mr. Mack, how are we doing today?
What up? We're doing pretty solid. It's a beautiful day here in Nashville, Tennessee. And except it's not beautiful anywhere else because like half the games in the whole world are postponed today.
Yeah, we were just talking. The Braves and the Mets are postponed here on Friday evening. Who else we got on there?
The Rockies are postponed. Shoot, it feels like half my teams.
Milwaukee and Nationals.
Yep.
Yeah, Brewers Nationals postponed. So not the best of weather, but hey, that's okay. That's why you're hopefully in a daily league and you can just roll with the punches and make a quick switch out, and you can use one of the people that we will be going over for you for next week. Yep, and
I'll tell you what my Roto League outfield looks like right now for weekly.
Let's hear it.
I got Bryce Harper, Marcelo Ozuna, and Yordan Alvarez. So we're not doing too great.
Here's my home league, and I'll just go into it. So Brantley's day to day, Soto, Brantley's day to day, Harper, Alonso, Hayes. Brutal, man.
Brutal.
So, I feel you on the Harper. So enough of our woes. Let's fix your woes. Exactly. There we go. So we're going to first quickly review week 7, all the way back in week 7. So that was May 17th through May 23rd. Reminder, our week 9 is going to be May 31st through June. We're in June, man. June 6th. So, so week 7, Mac, let's go over your hitters. How do we do?
Okay, so I'm just realizing that I think I missed a day because I wrote down these numbers on Saturday night. So Sunday things could have been better. I know for a fact that they were actually. So Miguel Rojas was my first hitter, and then Pavin Smith and Dylan Moore. Okay. Pavin, yeah. So Miguel went 6 for 24. He had a home run, a stolen base, a couple RBIs. Wasn't a bad week for Miguel. He's been hot for the last little bit. I picked him up on a couple teams, and he's been a good shortstop replacement for all the guys that keep getting injured at shortstop. But Pavin wasn't too hot. He was 3 for 25 Saturday night with 3 runs, and on Sunday he hit a home run, which. I still think he went 1 for 4. I can't exactly remember. So not the best average, but that home run helped us out. And then Dylan Moore went on the IL the day after I recommended you pick him up. So hopefully he didn't. Hopefully he didn't do that. That'd been silly.
Yeah, and I mean the IL has been absolutely crazy this year, as you know. So no one can really fault you for that. Like I said, hopefully, I think most people watching this are probably in daily leagues as well. So hopefully you can just make the switch on that. And your Pavin Smith, dude, it's been hopefully you listened to Mac, way back when, and you've held on to him because he's been absolutely on a tear.
Since that Sunday, he's been hitting like crazy.
Yes, he's been absolutely incredible. I'm just seeing right now he's 2 for 4, 3 for 4, 2 for 5, 1 for 4. He's hit a bomb in there. He's got 5 RBIs. I mean, hey, Pavin Smith and only rostered in 17% of Yahoo leagues, and he has first base and outfield eligibility. So he would be what Dominic Smith. That's what you were hoping he would be. Let's go right into it. And
it's like Austin Slater light. He's just kind of like Austin Slater, just again, because also first base outfield.
Yep. Guy. Which is, you need the outfield's been pretty brutal.
Put him in a lineup, and I don't know if I could pick them out from each other.
Right. All right. So let me go over my week 7 hitters. So overall, I batted 243 with a 367 OBP. Combined for 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 15 runs. So overall, looked pretty good. And then when we actually really dive into it, you'll realize it was pretty much. I guess 2 guys did 2 of the 3 did pretty good. So looking at McCutchen here, week 7, he had 3 hits, 4 runs. He hit a home run. He got you 3 RBIs, no steals, which I think, I think that even the days of him getting double-digit steals, I think they're donezo. But he's still the man. But yeah, only batted 130 over that week. He got you 3 walks though, so that's something. Robbie Grossman, he continues to be pretty incredible, especially if you get him in a 15-team league or whatever. I'm playing him in a 12-team right now.
I got him in a 20-team, and it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's money in the bank. So week 7, he had 8 hits, 6 runs. He's hitting the top of the Detroit Tigers lineups. 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and he has no stolen. He didn't have any stolen bases. He has 7 overall on the year, which is pretty incredible. He leads the Tigers. He's tied with Nico Goodrum. Goodrum also has 7. But yeah, over that week, he batted .307, had a .423 on base percentage. He's in the 96th percentile in walk rate, so that's what he does. He had 3 walks over the week. And lastly was Kyle Schwarber. This is the guy that really did well for me. So 7 hits, 5 runs. 3 of those 7 hits were home runs. So 3 bombs. Gotta love that. 7 RBIs. He batted .280. Had a .419 OBP because he walked 6 times in 25 at bats. So overall, week 7 hitters did really, really well. So I was excited about that.
Good at that.
All right, man. Let's go hop into week 7 pitchers. You go first. What do you got for me? How'd we do?
Okay, we did okay. I'll call it a win on 2 out of 3.
Okay,
we had Yusei Kikuchi, Rich Hill, and Tyler Anderson.
Okay, yeah.
Yusei, for the start that I recommended Kikuchi, he went 6-inning pitch, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, 8 strikeouts. Hit a quality start. I don't think he didn't get the win. But good outing.
Mariners being the Mariners, yeah.
It's more home runs than you like, but he's kind of got a problem with that, and it comes with the whole package. You're going to get the Ks, and he'll probably give up a solo shot or 2, and hopefully he limits the damage.
That's why it's tough to start him on the road, in any type of dicey park. Yep.
And then Rich Hill was who we both the man that we actually. So I think that I hedged this. I think I hedged this and I've forgotten, but I gave a different, since you said Dick Mountain, or I said Dick Mountain, you said Rich Hill. So Wainwright was my other stream against the Cubs, and he did good. 8 innings.
Yeah,
8 innings. Well. So either way,
against him in the league, it was great.
Yeah, I bet that was great. So if you went Rich, if you went Wayno, you won either way. Hopefully you just didn't listen on Tyler Anderson. His luck finally ran out, and the Braves finally started hitting lefties. As I noted in that a couple weeks ago, that the Braves were one of the worst lefty hitting teams so far in the season. Yeah. They turned that around in a big way against Tyler. They put a 9 spot on him.
It's one of those things where you almost know too much. And because of that, like me, I wouldn't even I would be like, oh, it's the Braves. No way.
No way.
I just don't do it. I don't mess with it. But you dove too deep.
I dove too deep, and 9 earned runs. He did get 7 strikeouts, which is classic Braves. But
yeah, that's true.
He went 5 innings with 9 earned runs, so it's not the worst. It's not like a 2-inning 9 earned runs.
Right. It wasn't like a Lucas Giolito or Luis Castillo special where it's 1 2 innings with 8
earned runs. So it's not the worst thing it could have been. But I'm calling pitching a win between Kikuchi, Hill, and Wayno there. Anderson just that hurts.
Collateral damage. 2 out of 3. That's not bad, especially with what we're trying to do each week in and out. So you did better than me. So my 3 pitchers, just to remind the listeners, it was Matthew Boyd versus the Royals, Logan Gilbert versus the Tigers, and Rich Hill against Baltimore. Overall, my ERA was 6.71. Ouch. WHIP almost 2.
Yikes.
1.983.
Okay.
Got to win. I got to win. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Ks. Thank you very much. And it was it all had to do with Mr. Hill. So Boyd, he had a 9 ERA. He gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. He only got your 5 Ks. Boyd overall has actually been pretty good. He has a mid 3s ERA. His his strikeouts are down, but he's been a lot more efficient with his pitches. And because of the dead ball, the home runs aren't flying out as much. So I'm personally not going to roster him, which is, moving forward. But he's actually been pretty good. And I looked at his xFIP and everything, and it's all is actually right.
Yeah, I've got him rostered in the league or two. And you know what? I want to say that I wrote up some streams for week 8, and I'm pretty happy with those too. I won't say all of them, but Austin Gomber 2-start week was like my number 1 start, and Mr. Gomber has delivered so far. He
has. You're getting Gombered in a good way, which is, you'll take it. But it's one of those things. It's like, he's young, right? Isn't he a young dude?
I don't know. All the Rockies pitchers start to run together for me.
It's hard.
I think he's relatively young. I'm in a worst ball league, and so I tend to, if I stream a Rockies pitcher, I tend to start them in worst ball as well, so that it doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah, then it's not that bad. Yeah. Let's see. He's born in '93, so that's 5 years. 27. Yeah. He's there. He's supposed to be better than he is. Okay, moving on. So I went with the young gun, Logan Gilbert. So super excited to pick him up. I was all on the Mariners train, and Mr. Gilbert has been bad. Just
not great.
Just to put it plain. I mean, he's young. He's only got 2 pitches right now. He's pretty much relying on, and neither of them are doing too well. So against the Detroit Tigers, 25th least amount of runs scored in baseball. In 2.2 innings, the Tigers scored 3 runs. They blew up his ERA to 10.13. His WHIP was 2.25. He only had 2 Ks. He walked 2 people. He had 4 hits. Just a blow-up game. And they're not going to waste any time on him. As a rookie, if he has a bad game, they're just going to pull him, and that's exactly what happened. So it was pretty much just he came in, ruined your ERA, and bounced. So. Hopefully you didn't go with that one. And I've actually dropped him in my 12-team and my 10-team league after what I've seen over the last few days. Just he's not there yet. He'll be there soon, just not right now, and I don't want to wait on him. So, and then Rich Hill, which we've already went over, but hey, he's doing it, man. I mean, he's like pretty much to the point where he has to be rostered in all leagues, and you're almost questioning. You're going to play him no matter the matchup almost at this point. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, 11 strikeouts against, what was that, the Yankees?
Yeah.
Recently? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck?
Rich Hill, man. There he is.
41 years old.
I was all on the Rich Hill bandwagon in 2020. I was expecting him to do, pretty well on the back end of the Twins rotation, and he was absolutely terrible. So I was like, he's, 40-something years old. So
that explains it.
And then he came.
But the Rays can turn anyone around.
Man, they're just like everyone else is playing checkers, and like they're playing chess, man. It's just not even close.
They're playing Chinese checkers or something. I don't even know how to play.
They just created their own game, and no one else even knows what's going on. So yeah, Rich Hill, real quick, 6 innings, 1 run. He got the win. He looked good. I mean, 4 Ks. He had 4 walks, which you don't love to see, but they didn't get anything on him, so it doesn't really matter. So overall, not that great of a week of pitching. Mac, I think you beat me on that, but let's go into
your hitters had me beat though. So
there we go. It's a given poll. So
a balancing act.
It is, but let's go into week 9, man. I'm super excited. Let's start with hitting. Who do you got for our listeners coming up here? And just a reminder what week 9 means to us: May 31st through June 6th.
Yep. So I'm pulling out 2 guys that I had lined up for week 8. Just gonna bring them back in. So I'm saying because I didn't get to talk about week 8, and I still think they're good pickups. So I'm gonna say number 1. So I just go through them: Willy Adames, Anthony Santander, and Akil Baddoo. We're back on the Baddoo train. So let's talk about Willy. We'll talk about Willy for a second. He just got traded, which is a big deal. Everyone's on the Franco call-up train, which everyone knew also wasn't going to happen.
I know who they call up Walls,
and he's been serviceable. He's exactly what you'd expect him to be, a big league regular, just not a superstar.
Yeah.
And then,
Adames last night. I mean, 4 for 5, had a bomb, 4 RBIs.
Which I was gonna say pick him up week 8, and that would have really helped out. But Marty had to move. So now you get me to tell you to do it for the rest of the season, because honestly, Adames might be good for the rest of. So here's the thing about Adames: he's a career 219 hitter at Tropicana Park.
Yeah, he's always struggled there.
His career when he's away is 291, and that's immediately.
I don't know if you've ever been there, and I don't mean like the organization is world class and the team's great. Where they play, I went to Tropicana Field once, and it was dingy. It didn't feel like you're in a baseball field. And when you did get there was like 13 people there, so that made it even weirder. So
I've never been, but that's not surprising. But
yeah, and it looks like they're pretty invested in him. I mean, he's batting 6th or 7th in the lineup. Last night he bats 2nd. So
yeah, and here's the thing about Willie. I mean, this will normalize, but he's got a 14.4% barrel rate so far this season. So he's been hitting the ball harder than ever, and people kind of forget because he had a prospect pedigree. Again, prospect fatigue. We talk about it a lot. He's 25, so it's not like he's been this bust for forever. He's always hit the ball hard, and people have always thought that he could be something more. So,
do you know off the top of your head who was playing shortstop for the Brewers before then? I know that I don't know if they moved over
Orlando Arcia, and then he got traded to the Braves.
Okay.
So he's been in the Braves AAA system, and so I think Urias has been like they've been sort of just
Urias, Wong,
rotating shortstop.
I don't think Hira's been shortstop. He's playing second, and then moves them over. But the only reason why I ask that is because I have Colton Wong in TGFBI, so I'm just like keep playing him. We got 2 stolen bases yesterday.
Yeah,
he did. Amazing.
I have him on both my dynasties.
Hell yeah! There you go. He's young. He's hit to the top of that lineup. Some pop. Just need some confidence, and I love that he's in Miller Park. It's amazing. All right, awesome.
So let's move. We're moving to Santander. So Santander, here's another. He just came off the IL, and he was struggling to begin this season, but he is pretty much the only guy he's only 59% rostered. When he was coming off the IL, he was 48% rostered. And he's pretty much the only guy you're going to be able to pick up off the wire at this point that could give you like 30 home run potential bat.
And I saw that note on the sheet, and and I was like 30 home runs. I'm like, you know what, dude, that is absolutely possible.
Yeah, I don't know if this season, I think 20 home runs is in the realm of possibilities.
Yeah,
because he's missed so much time, but he's on a 7-game hit streak. He's got to hit every single game since he came off the IL.
Yep.
And a healthy Santander and Camden Yards is
a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
He's got to even play in Camden.
Yeah.
He's been on the road at Washington, on the road at Minnesota. Now he's on the road against Chicago White Sox. Last night he went 2 for 4.
Yep. And talk about another young guy. He's not that. I think he's 26.
Yeah.
So
26 or 27. He's batting right in the middle of the order. It's pretty. Yeah, he's batting 3rd or 4th every single time. You gotta love it. Love that one.
And then Badu. So Badu's jumped back up. He's 12% rostered. He was 0% for a while. Everyone was worried about his approach at the plate because of the strikeouts. But over his last 14 days, he has 3 stolen bases and a .538 on base percentage.
Yep.
Because he has taken his walks. And he is getting on base and he's using his speed. I think he got a little drunk on the power. He was connecting on some pitches and it made him start swinging big.
He was Barry Bonds for a second.
Yeah, for a second.
He had to get checked. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he was checked by big league pitchers who understood like, oh, wait a second, if I just throw in breakers a bunch, then eventually stop just pumping him heaters down the middle because I think he's a kid. And
they finally opened up his scouting report.
Open up the book on him, and this is what happened. He struck out a ton, but I like the fact that he's come back and immediately adjusted his approach. It's pretty dope. And can't argue with 3 stolen bases and over 50% on base percentage.
No, it's absolutely incredible. And again, there's no one in that lineup, so he's always going to be able to. I mean, they've hit him at the at the bottom of that lineup. He's hitting 7th when he is playing. He's actually sitting out today against New York. He sat a little bit against Cleveland and KC. So if you're going to be, if the Tigers got 7 games in a week, he'll probably play 5 of them at this point. But if he gets hot again, I would expect him to start going into that 6th, 7th game.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at mine. So who do we got? Let's start with Mr. Avisal Garcia. So he's just been a delight for anyone. For anyone that invested in him at the beginning of the season. I think you're absolutely thrilled with everything that he's given you. All the stats are there. He's batting .252, which in this day and age, that's pretty good. 8 home runs, 4 steals. He has 25 RBIs. You open up the hood, and I mean, hard hit percentage is in the 89th percentile. His sprint speed is in the 91st percentile. Sneaky fast.
Yeah.
He's crushing the ball, and he's super fast. I mean, this is the godsend, and this is someone that was post ADP 300, in some leagues. So anyone that has him, he's still only, I think he's not even rostered in that many leagues. I just had it in front of me. Let's see, where is it? 33% rostered in Yahoo leagues right now. All of his games next week are going to be at home. 2 versus the Tigers, one of the worst pitching staffs in baseball, 23rd in ERA. 4 versus the Diamondbacks, they're 27th in ERA. And he's been hitting 3rd or 4th in that Brewers lineup. Slam dunk, I think.
Yeah, I've had him on. I picked him up probably a month ago.
Yep, good. You've been reaping the benefits of that.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Moving on to the guy who I dropped earlier in this year, and I moved away from, kind of like I did Kyle Schwarber, but I'm fully back on Schwarber. Him and we worked out. But anyway, Clint Frazier, New York Yankee, 23% rostered. He's looked better. That's my analysis. I mean, he was so bad.
Hard hitting analysis on between the scenes.
I mean, because I actually was watching him the first 2 months, and he was lost at the plate. And they kept moving him down, He's still batting 174 overall this year. But over the last 7 games, batting .318. He's got a home run. He's still striking out. He had 8 strikeouts and 22 at bats, so he's still striking out a bunch. But 2 stolen bases. So, anyone in a roto league, you see a home run, couple swipes, batting around 300. In that lineup, a lot of injuries there. So they're going to be able to find a spot for him. I love it when he plays at home. And he was actually pretty good last year.
Yeah.
So, Clint Frazier. Scoop him before he gets good again. And then who's the last one? Oh, Miguel Ceno. Big boy.
Big boy got hot.
I picked him up in a 10-team league about 2 weeks ago after he had that 3 home run game or 2 home run game, and it's been gravy ever since. He's still only batting 183, but I mean the power's still there. Over the last 2 weeks, he has 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. He's just been absolutely crushing it. It doesn't even at this point. He's going to be batting either 4th or 5th every single day in that lineup for the Twins. And he's hot right now. And when he's hot, you roster him. He's going to get you some home runs. Probably bat somewhere around 250. If he's doing well. He's only 64% rostered, and he does have multi-eligibility at 1st and 3rd base. So if you need somebody in a middle infield or in a corner infielder position, or you just need to switch out your first baseman or 3rd baseman because let's say you invested in Pete Alonso, like I just traded for. I need somebody to kind of make up for that power and slot in at 1st. I think he'll be fine for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into our pitching. Who do you got for our listeners for next week? What 3 pitchers you're rolling with?
So I'm going to give a shout-out real quick because I believe this guy falls just above our cutoff. Our boy Dylan Cease is at 71% rostered.
Yep.
And he's got a 2-start week against, I believe, Cleveland and Detroit.
Yes. The best ever. Like that. Yeah.
So if he's available in your league, if he happens to be in a league, and he just put up the 2nd most whiffs on the season, I think, in his last start. When he's
29 swinging strikes.
Yeah, 29 swinging strikes. When he's on, he's crazy. So if that slider's working, and if that slider's the truth, then Cease could be the truth. And, this week could be a real nice week for anyone who has him. So, but into my actual pitchers who are not quite as popular as Mr. Cease, I'm going to give you a Seattle special this week. I'm just streaming against Seattle because they have a bad offense. That's pretty much it. So I'm I'm gonna go first. Griffin Canning. I feel like he's that. I just can't quit him. I just can't quit Canning.
Yes.
I think I've recommended him twice at least on this show, and it's not gone well. But the Mariners have a team 146 career average against Canning across everyone in that lineup. Yeah. So they have not historically hit well against Canning. There was a start last season where he went 8 innings with of one hit ball against the Mariners. So yeah, I
the Mariners currently they're batting .203 as a team. They have the worst team batting average in baseball.
Yep, really bad.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Listeners, Mariners, Brewers, Indians, Mets, Tigers. Those are your bottom 5 in team average, and the Tigers are batting .225. The Mariners are batting .203. That's a huge difference.
Horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like who's number 1? It's got to be like the Sox have to be up there. It's a 250 team average.
Sox are 2. Who do you think are your top 5, real quick? Sox are 2.
Top 5. Oh goodness. Giants.
Nope.
Angels.
Nope.
Oh, I have no clue then.
Okay, goes Astros number 1.
Astros,
Sox,
of course.
2, Red Sox 2, White Sox 3, Washington Nationals 4, and then your Toronto Blue Jays. They're not really your.
I would have never guessed the Nats were up there, honestly.
I know. They're batting .254.
254. So yeah, the difference between the bottom 5, the 5th worst, and the 5th best is almost the difference. But yeah, so like the difference between the bottom, the Mariners, and the 5th worst team is almost the difference between the 5th best team and the 5th worst team, which is pretty.
That's wild.
Pretty horrible. So, which is why you're getting the Seattle special, because number 2 is Mr. James Caprielian. Caprielian? I don't know how to say his last name.
I don't know either. Darn it.
I'm guessing
one of us know it.
I know. Yeah, usually one of us knows. Caprielian.
How do you spell it?
C-A-P-R-I-E-L-I-A-N.
Caprielian. Yeah, Caprielian. Yeah,
Caprielian. It sounds right. Yeah. I've just not heard it said out loud.
He's one of those names that like I as I'm scrolling through, I see them at like most added or more added or whatever, and it's just a name I don't know and I can't comprehend really. So I just keep scrolling.
Just keep going.
So I'm like, oh yeah, there's that guy in Oakland with a long name and it starts with a K. You know that guy? Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Well, he's a rookie and he's 2-0 on the season. Last time he pitched against the Mariners and he went 7 scoreless. He's actually looked really good so far this season. He's 31% roster, and that's jumped up. But, I mean, he gets Seattle again, and there's no reason to not roll him out again because why not?
And that's going to be on Monday, which he'll have a potentially – he's a rookie. We don't
potential
know.
Second start.
Maybe a second start too.
Yeah, he might. And he's looked good enough. The A's have also, I mean, they're like the Rays light sort of thing, where the Moneyball. They've pulled out guys like Cole Irvin and Caprielian here, and just made it work. Cole Irvin, I've got him in a 20-teamer, and not bad. Not mad about his starts.
Yep.
And finally here we got Mr. Robbie Ray. He's 59% rostered, and he gets Miami in the middle of the week. And Miami's not a great offense, and against lefties, they sort of sit. They're middle of the league against lefties, but they've got the 5th highest K percentage so far against lefties this season.
And that's what Ray's out there just dicing. You know, they'll throw 100 pitches in 4 or 5 innings, just trying to get everything.
Which Robbie Ray is that guy. Like, he's the ultimate Nick from Pitcherless Pollock. He calls him Nick from Pitcherless Pollock. That's what I just said. He calls him cherry bombs. And he's like the ultimate. It could like blow up in your face, or it could be super sweet. And Robbie Ray is like one of the ultimate cherry bombs. He could go 12 Ks in 6 innings against Miami, or like Miami could light him up in seconds. Who knows? But he's looked good so far this season, and he's been peppering fastball up, which is instead of middle. His ability to locate his four seam has been better this season, and that's
super important because he leaves it out there, just destroyed.
So
he's one of those pitchers so many times he'll get somebody 0-2, and next thing you know, he just throws a meatball. You're like, what?
Why'd you do that?
How did this happen?
Yeah.
Throw it anywhere but there. Okay, awesome. Was that so?
Yep.
What were the? Can you remind me again the three?
Griffin Canning, James Caprielian, and Robbie Ray.
Groovy. All right.
Groovy.
Let's go into my three here. We're going to start with the rookie. So, Alec Manoa. I wish I had some soft-sounding jazz or something to put in because what he did in his debut was absolutely amazing. 6 innings against the Yanks, 7 Ks, got the win, got the quality start, 0.67 whip. I think he just walked up one person. It was just, hey, he looks cool. Man.
Thank you to him for like giving us a prospects debut that was actually like good, a pitching debut that was good so far this season. Because
I think he's the first one that came up and actually was good because I didn't start him. I picked him up everywhere, but I didn't start him in one league because I liked my ERA where it's at. It's a head-to-head weekly league, category.
That's the way it is.
And then, I'm going to roll him out there.
I only picked him up in one league, and I did start him because it was like, I know that they're not the same people, like Logan Gilbert and Alec Manoa and those guys, they're like not the same people, but in my head, I'm like, I'm going to give these prospects like one more chance. Yep. And then if they don't, I'm not picking up the next guy because I've gotten burned on a couple guys now. But now Manoa has extended it, and the next guy to come up, I'll probably pick him up too. So
yeah. And Manoa, he's going to be going against the Marlins, like we already went into. They're not that, they're a good team to highlight. Jazz is out again. There's no one in that. Jesus Aguilar's, he's cooled off a little bit, unfortunately, for my TGFBI team. But, no one there that's really going to, screw you up. And you go into the Yankees with that kind of your first start like that, and you do that well, you got to love it. So number 2 is Fraumber Valdez, so 60% rostered. He was my darling. I took him as my 3rd pitcher in a lot of 15-team leagues. I loved what Saris had to say about him. He was a sleeper coming into it, and then he got hurt, right? So we haven't seen anything from him this year. Last year, he had a 3.57 ERA with a 1.11 whip, 70 Ks, only 16 walks. So I'm super excited he goes against the Padres tonight. This is his first game off the IL.
Are you starting him tonight?
I'm starting him. Yep. I'm starting him.
I've got him sitting on my IL in a couple leagues, and I don't know. I've thought about it.
The reason why I have to, it's the it's Enrico Palazzo podcast league. It's a draft and hold. And I don't have any good pitcher. Like my pitcher is depleted, so I have to start him. He goes against the Red Sox at home next week. It's not the best. On paper, the Red Sox are doing well. One of the better offensive teams in baseball, as we already went over. If not the best, but I love
by Woba standards, they're the best.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, but I'm feeling it, man. I think Valdez will come out today, go 5-6, kind of get a little warm up, get feeling a little bit. Then he's going to go against the Sox. The Astros they are themselves one of the best teams in baseball. You're going to get a win. I think he's going to be fine. And then you can hold on to him the rest of the year because he's going to be really good down the stretch. You're going to need him. And lastly, Mr. Anthony Diesclefany. So 69% rostered. And he's going against the Cubs at home next week. Absolutely love that. So he's someone I've really liked him for a really long time. And this year, as a Giant, looks like he's settling in. 3.54 ERA. He's got 4 wins, over 56 innings. He's got 51 strikeouts with a 1.09 whip. Expected ERA is good. His walks are pretty down. His stuff obviously has never been too beautiful. I mean, he's in the 1 percentile in curve spin, which I don't even know if that is relevant for how much. I don't know how often he throws it, but it's just funny to see the 1 percentile of anything. But yeah, going against the Cubs, they've gotten better. They've heated up. I think they're moving up. They're tied for first in their division or in their But yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, baller.
All right, dude, we made it through it. All right. So
we weren't even speeding, and we're right at one of our best times.
We're doing well. But then we end up talking for another 5-10 minutes.
Because
we did good about it, and next thing you know, it's 45 minutes long or whatever. But before we let you go for the weekend, remind the fans and everybody who follows us, where they can find your work and everything that you do.
You can find me at JChristianMack on Twitter. You can find me on Pitcher List. I edit there. Occasionally I'll put out an article there as well. I'm doing this show at Triple Play Fantasy. Hoping to put out some articles over the summer as we get into the dog days of summer. Mm-hmm. And always on Twitter at JChristianMack.
Awesome. And you can always find me again, Marty Tallman, at Marty_Tallman on Twitter. Right here, Triple Play Fantasy. Love doing the show here with Mac each week. Be writing for Motor City Bengals for the Detroit Tigers in a bunch of different ways. I'm also doing a podcast called The Jungle, which mixes fantasy baseball and the Detroit Tigers and everything else that's going on. And super excited just to keep this season going. Hopefully everyone is able to make it out to a ball game this year. I think that's everyone's bucket list here for this year. But again, another great week, and we'll see you next time.